Hello, guys. Welcome to this week's Connect Live, and we have a new name for it. We are calling it the Wednesday Drive. Yes, but Bado ni Connect Live, and today we have a different show and different in this way. Before we go to the salams, we have a new category that is called the Car of the Week, and I know last week was a very interesting week. In fact, not last week, last Monday. Last Monday, we had a review of the Nissan Note E Power, and that was a review that really many uh, people loved. And if you have not watched it, it's on the channel. But this week, the car of the week is a vehicle that is called the 2020 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. The reason it's the car of the week is that one, it's not very common in the Kenyan car market. Well, the name is borrowed from an old legendary vehicle in the Mitsubishi lineup, and that was called the Mitsubishi Eclipse. It's a vehicle that is appreciated by many purists across the globe. However, you have seen the trend on the automotive world whereby they are making a crossover out of everything, including the Nissan Note. So the Eclipse was reincarnated into a crossover SUV, a compact crossover SUV, and it's available in like four different variants. We have a 1.5 liter petrol turbo, we have a 2 liter naturally aspirated, we have a diesel turbo, and the most interesting one, and what makes this the Eclipse Cross the car of the week, is there is a PHEV variant of it, and this PHEV variant of the Eclipse Cross can give or has recorded a fuel economy rating of up to 50 kilometers to the liter. Yes, this is a vehicle that has beaten the Honda Vezel hybrid hands down. But the fuel economy readings may change depending on driving conditions because uh, so the Eclipse Cross PHEV is a plug-in hybrid that you can actually charge, and we're going to be bringing it to Auto Connect in the coming weeks. But it has, if you're driving it on electric mode only, it has a range of up to 55 kilometers. So this is a very good vehicle for town running. That was car of the week there. And today, by the way, another thing is that we are also streaming live on Facebook. So watu wa Facebook pia mnaweza tupata pale, tuko live leo. Mambo ni live both on our YouTube channel and my personal Facebook page, Eric Wakabi. So you can also view there kama uko on the move, and I can see 33 guys are still wameshafika, and we're going to start as usual with the salamus. Jamaa Pajero Muriuki Marigi is right here. Karota Uganda from Sevoland is here. Kenyans Teratreka is here. Peter Nganga from Saudi Arabia is here. Stanley Omondi kama kawaida tuned in from Kisumu City. Stanley, salimia wale japangwa pale Nyamasari bana. Hesbon Brown is saying from North Carolina niko ndani, karibu sana. Efantas Ngure ni class inakuanga na reminder bwana, siwezi kosa. Thank you so much bwana Efantas, and you keep us motivated to go. We have Benson Otonda who is tuned in from Maseno. Benson, hapo Maseno, opposite Maseno there's a lady who sells, there's a lady from Meru anauzanga uji hapo, akona ka hoteli kazuri sana hapo, salimia hapo mahalizi koti inasimamanga Maseno. Yes. So who else? We have Noah Akeo Akondani. Josh Homan is glad to be here. Thank you so much, Josh, for always making time for Connect Live. We have Meshak Mutinda from Dubai, and Lupta is joining us from Samburu County. Jonathan pia Akondani. Na by the way, leo mkumbuke pia, as we go on with our show, unaweza cheza pale na super chat to keep the channel running. And Peter Nganga anauliza Eclipse inafikisha ngapi na does it come in 4-wheel drive and all-wheel drive? Yes, the Eclipse does come. Actually, the Eclipse comes in both 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. Hiyo 4-wheel drive yake inaitwa SAWC. Ile inaitangwa, it's a Mitsubishi system, and it's the same one on the Outlander, so it's a very capable vehicle. Vox the boss anasema leo nimeingoja hii live kama bell ya lunchtime nikiwa high school. Thank you so much Vox. We have Dennis Katali from Somalia, Joel Nyabuto from Kisii anasema ako ndani, Jose Nderi, great to catch up with the live as usual, most informative kashu. Thank you so much. Then we have Achieng Frederick anasema ako ndani from Ikolomani. Ikolomani ndio walio alishindwa kusema gold mine. Anyway, kama kawaida, today is the Q&A session, and I have started by giving you the car of the week, which is the Eclipse Cross, and it's a very interesting car. It's likely to take up the competition. The pricing on it, however, if you get the 1.5 turbo that is not PHEV, it will set you back around 2.9 million Kenya shillings. We have one in stock. If you get the PHEV, it will set you back slightly above 3 million Kenya shillings. Yeah, so that's that. Those are the current pricing. Benson Otonda anasema hii Mitsubishi Eclipse inaweza fanya tuone Luna Eclipse. Red flags. Benson bwana, Benson. Turudi pale kwa Antis Mwans anasema vipi Antis tuko ndani. And before we go to the question and answer section, I would like to remind you, our ardent followers and viewers, that we have partners, and you can call them directly, but it's very important that you keep us in the know so that we are able to also take up the liability in case something goes wrong. The other thing that I would like to tell you about is our pre-purchase inspection service, and we have had a few moments when we have people calling and they are requesting for the service there and then. We have a big team. We have a team of 4 pre-purchase inspection technicians who are distributed across Nairobi. We have one of them is Suleiman Wesonga, who handles Ngong Road all the way to the Southern Bypass, Kitengela, the upper part of Nairobi. We have Maura from Prince Drive Garage, who offers the stationary aspect of the pre-purchase inspection, Pale Miremba First Avenue. There is me and another gentleman who mostly cater for our clients who require us to be mobile. So we normally prefer that if you're booking a pre-purchase inspection, since we are always booked, kindly book a day in advance so that we can be able to slot you and give the technician who is available at that particular time. So tunaomba mkuwe mkibook pre-purchase, mnabook a day in advance. Sasa tuko pamoja, tuende kwa maswali sasa. Constantine Mungai is in the house, and he's asking your choice, your view or your choice between the Land Cruiser 8100 versus Defender 120 Di. I'm a Land Cruiser person, and I will definitely take the 80. Although I feel that I feel that it will be unfair to compare the two, because you see the Land Cruisers are bigger compared to the Defender. But if I was to compare any Land Cruiser with a Defender, it would be maybe the 80. I would compare the 80 to the 110 Caravan, because two solid axles and the same old. When you get to the 100, the 80 series, and I know Land Cruiser purists will mostly have a problem with this, but this is the reality. The 80 was the last true Land Cruiser. And I always keep on repeating, the Land Cruiser lineup or lineage is divided into 3 categories. We call it the holy trinity of the Land Cruiser. We have the heavy duty series that includes Akina 79. We have the light duty series, Akina Prado J150, J120, J95 ISO, and then we have the station wagon luxury variants, and these are the 80, the 100, the 200, the 300. So that's why I'm saying it will be quite unfair to put an 80 series head to head with a Defender. I feel the 80 series should be put head to head with a Discovery 2. That would make much more sense. Tuendelee hapa. Francis Ndirito is saying, hey Eric, kindly advise on the Town Ace 2007-2008 model and the NV 200 1600cc automatic, considering the reliability and fuel consumption. One thing I'll tell you, that Town Ace is a headache. The one with the 3SZ engine is a headache. The engine is not very reliable. The gearbox again is not very reliable. It has been one of the most problematic. You know, the town aces have been workhorses, but unfortunately, the one you're talking about is not very, very, very reliable. In fact, I would prefer the NV200 over it any day, anytime. C25 is saying kindly update on CRSP. My update on CRSP would be we are going to use the old CRSP for a while. Yes, so that's the update that I'm going to give. And remember, you can join our WhatsApp channel for daily auto updates. We have the link is pinned to the top of the comment section, so you can click it to access our WhatsApp community. The other announcement, what else now tell you? Oh, watu wa Eldoret, kesho tuko Neon Mobility. Hivyo in Eldoret, kesho kuja. In fact, tunashutia review moja hatari sana pale Eldoret, courtesy of Magari Deals Eldoret. So Neon Mobility is our subsidiary, and it is in Eldoret to serve the people of the North Rift region when it comes to a one-stop service center. So remember, kama unataka tupatane kesho, kujeni hapa Neon Mobility, tuko na the whole team. Tutakuwa pale, tutakuwa Ndakas so watu wa kutoka Eldoret, Sisibo, tupatane kesho. And we are also going to, I've told you, we are going to shoot a fire review that will air on Monday in Eldoret. There's a very nice place there that we are going to shoot. Na tunawaletea pickup moja double cab moto sana yenye bado haijakuwa kwa channel, and it's a very underrated vehicle. So stay tuned, and we are shooting it we are shooting it direct from the City of Champions. So if you want to meet us up kesho in LD, you can call our number 0710 844 863 and Wangari will hook you up with us. The other thing, kama unataka kuleta gari yako service Neon Mobility kesho, we're going to be having some discounts on labor. So if you're in Eldoret, take this time to bring your car to Neon Mobility pale Pioneer, and you're going to be working on it. Tycoon 001 anasema, Eriko, would you advise anyone to change the X-Ray T30 from auto to manual? Ni kazi mingi sana. You'd rather just buy a manual T30, but it's possible. It is very possible, only that the components are quite pricey. Current cost of importing a 2018 Subaru XV 2.0 eyesight. C25, that will set you back around 2.65 million Kenya shillings, all the way to around 2. Actually, you can get one from 2.55 all the way to around 2.7, depending on grade, depending on mileage, and also depending on the spec. We have Muthe Eliud is typing while deleting. Sijui ni kwa nini ana type while deleting. Lupta, asante sana for hiyo kakitu umeweka. Remember, mnaweza cheza na super chat pale. We have John Mashari saying, please take us through the new shape Honda Shuttle versus the hybrid Fielder or Axio. John Masharia, the Honda Shuttle is one of those vehicles that sooner or later will be sought after. It's very spacious, and it has carried forward the reliability of a Honda Fit. So basically, it's the station wagon version of a Honda Fit, and not much of a difference. And this is a good thing because it carries the legacy of reliability with it. When we talk about now the Fielder, if we try to compare it with the Fielder, I would say the Honda Shuttle is Honda's Fielder version. And these are two very reliable brands. Both have a hybrid option. Both are quite okay. I would think that the Honda Shuttle would be a good alternative to the Fielder. Only that now there are two things. The Fielder is a bit wider. The Shuttle is a bit narrow. That's why Shuttle ikiwekwa miguu ndogo inakaanga funny. So that's one thing. So I believe it's up to your budget and the choice, but the deal breaker in terms of reliability, for the longest time, the Fielder has been bought in very large numbers, but also actually Honda Shuttle imeletea shida tu kidogo tu, the current one, the hybrid one with the DCT gearbox. That is where the problem has been. But otherwise, it's a very good car. If you get the non-hybrid Honda Shuttle, trust me, hiyo gari utaishi nayo kwa miaka na mikaka. Paul Kimemi is saying, hey CK, my 94 Subaru Legacy has been cutting power randomly. I thought it was the pump but it isn't the plugs, batteries. The battery is new and the engine was serviced recently. Any suggestion on what to check or swap the engine? Paul Kimemia, hiyo gari pelekea mtu anaitwa Mzee Suleiman. Mzee Suleiman anaelewa Subaru sana. Suleiman Wesonga is a good partner of the Auto Connect community. If you would like to reach Suleiman, kindly inbox us on our number, 0710 844 863. It's on the screen, by the way, so you can you can reach us out through that number. Tuendele, we have Dennis Katali is saying, which parts would WD-40 be applied, especially when preserving a car for like a year long? WD-40, WD-40, WD-40. You know, when you're preserving a car for more than a year, there are so many things that, or for a year, one, kuna kitu inaitwa greasing. Number two, I think ni muhimu utoe tires. You store it without tires. Number three is nini kitu ingine Abu Dennis, nitakikumbuka during the show, I'll get back to you. We have Joel Nyabuto saying, Eric, try and have a team in Kisii for easy pre-purchase inspection. We will work on that. Mambo ni pole pole. Raphael Nyawere saying, hello Eric, I'm watching live from Nyeri Polytechnic waiting to learn. Karibu sana Raphael. Na Raphael, ukitembea Nairobi ukiwa unanipigia simu. Kefas is saying, hey Eric, karibu sana. John Kagosing jamaa wa Ruiru ako ndani, saying leo mvua ni nyingi. Na hii mvua iko wapi? Mimi nasikia Ruiru, hata Gen Z with experience was telling me that Ruiru kuna mvua. Mimi kwenye niko sijaona mvua. Muthe Eliud is saying, what's your take on purchasing a locally used CX5 2013, 2014 or 2015? What is the caution? Number one, Muthe Eliud, these cars, I wouldn't give a very big disclaimer, but if they are diesel, make sure hizo gari ujue that year of manufacture, hizo kutoka 2015 or 2014, 2013, 2014 zilichokorwa sana. So be very keen on the engine condition if it's a diesel. If it's a petrol, buy. Just make sure see accident. See a major accident. Just make sure it's not previously written off. John Kangosing anasema vile ile Nissan Note ilikubamba, seems the Nissan era has now don't. The e-power concept is actually a very good concept, and it's going to take it has, you know, that Note is one of the top selling vehicles in Japan at around that time, year 2021 or to around 2024. Joel Nyabuto is saying, anasema advice on gearbox oil for Subaru Forester SK e-Boxer. Joel Nyabuto, that one you're going to use the Lineatronic CVT fluid, genuine, yeah, Subaru. Melbo is saying, knock knock. Melbo, who's there? Jonathan is saying, is a 2009 W204 C2020D with a OM646 a good buy, or I just go for the compressor? To be honest, it's not bad. It's very economical, but mimi, I find compressors more reliable. Yeah, the supercharged one. I'm a bit traditional. Especially when it comes to turbo problems. Sometimes kuna kuanga na hizo zinasumbuliangwa sana na turbo. So, and this is case by case. Mtu asiseme ati no, it's not a blanket judgment. I have seen people wamesumbuliwa sana na hiyo OM, the OM646, with, especially when it comes to injectors na turbo. So I feel the compressor would be much better. Vox the Boss anasema, hey Eric, juzi umeletea client a Scudo. Can you briefly compare to the XV? Like which one is more reliable, better fuel economy, and better handling, legroom, and boot space? Yes, Vox the Boss tuletea one of our ardent fans hapa, anaitwa Brayo, tumletea Scudo. We also have another Scudo coming. And one thing I'll tell you about those Scudos, comparing them to the XV, you know, they are around the same price, and the Scudo will give you better fuel economy. That is number one. And it will also give you better handling. The most significant difference between the Scudo and the XV is the gearbox, because the Scudo has a 6-speed auto. The XV has a Subaru Lineatronic CVT. The other advantage over the Subaru is hapo kwa fuel economy. Remember, hizi Suzuki za saa hizi zinakuja na the engine that is called the 1.4 booster jet, the K14C, the same engine on the Suzuki Swift Sport, the third gen Swift Sport. And one thing about it is that Suzuki has been able to match up performance and fuel economy. I drove that vehicle from Mombasa, and on average, it was able to give me around 16 kilometers to the liter. Having driven an XV from Mombasa to Nairobi, the XV would give you on average 10 kilometers to the liter, ama ikienda sana 12. So yes, the Suzuki has obvious advantages. The other thing, all grip four-wheel drive system is also another added. No, the Subaru, yes, has an all-wheel drive system, but we all know that Suzuki has very good four-wheel drive systems. So yes, those are the, I would tend to feel that the Suzuki has an added advantage over the Subaru XV. The other thing we have to talk about is, wacha nione Facebook, nione watu kama wanauliza maswali hapa Facebook. Let me see. Andy, uko Facebook live, nisaidie hiki kitu. Let's see, Facebook wanasema aje? Facebook wanasema Powermat Motors wako ndani. Powermat Motors, by the way, they have been part of our partners in sourcing pickups for our clients, the recent one being one that is going to Homa Bay. So Mashari, asante sana for always supplying us with quality pickups. Unaweza tembelea Mashari pale Kasa ama pale Karen. Hilda Skiller is tuned in. Matetes Mashari is saying, tuned in from Kitale. What's the big difference between Isuzu D-Max and Toyota Hilux, both 4x4? The two double cabs are very reliable. Yes, they are very reliable. However, I think it narrows down to the usage. One thing about the D-Maxes is that they are a bit more, they are a bit more affordable comparing them to if you compare them to the Hilux. So I would say that goes down to personal preference, although you're going to get a wider variety of specifications from the Hilux lineup compared to the D-Max lineup. Also, kama unanunua mtumba, like foreign used, the Hiluxes are more available. However, ukipata D-Max, hiyo ni gari itaishi sana, especially if you use it correctly. So remember, at our Facebook fans, you can still ask your questions pale Facebook live. Tuendele, let me see wangapi wamerudi. Kefas is saying, I think my Toyota Axio 2017 is starting to lose power. Please recommend a good garage to check its reliability in Nairobi. Kefas, enda pale Prince Drive garage, uone mtu anaitwa Mwaura. You can reach us kama unataka a pin to the garage. WhatsApp us on our number, the 0710 844 863. It's on the screen pale hivyo. Cyrus Kibe anasema narudi next week niwaletee mlevi wa Cyrus, si Pajero ilikusumbua sana. Kikawa Ricky saying, good evening, live from Uganda. Thank you so much, Ricky Bana. We appreciate, and very soon we are going to pay you guys another visit. Mitsubishi Fortis mixed coolant and gearbox oil after servicing. There is a noise coming from the gearbox, but all gears are changing smoothly. Recommend the best garage to visit. Pinjero, enda pale mahali kunaitwa CVT Accessories. Iko pale Marurui on the Northern Bypass. Ongea na jamaa anaitwa Mose. If you want the contact to Mose, just text I need Mose's contact to the number 0710 844 863. Wale wase wako Facebook, remember we are also live on YouTube as well. Divergent is saying, hey Eric, as a fan of sedans, is it worth... amepotelea wapi? Yes. Nasema Divergent is saying, hey Eric, as a fan of sedans, is it worth upgrading from 2007 Toyota Allion to a 1.8 2017 VW Passat 1.8 TSI? Most definitely. You're going to get better performance, you're going to get a better ride feel, but also the cost of maintenance is also going... as you upgrade, you're also going to upgrade your pocket kidogo. Gift Kimati is saying, it has been a year bado hujai tuletea Land Rover 109. Shida ni availability. Kama kuna mtu ako nayo atusaidie, atupatie, we'll be open to review the 109. Victor Kiplimo is saying, hello Eric, show iko sabamba kabisa, watching from Chepkoilel Eldoret. Victor, kesho tuko LD bana. Show up pale Neon Mobility tupige story, leta gari tupige service pole pole. Hata kama utakuja tupige story. Also you can watch us review one double cab that is there in Eldoret that we will want to do a special review. Pia mandhari ya Eldoret tubadilishe Limuru kidogo, si ndio? Tycoon 001 is saying 2010 Nissan Bluebird ni ya CVT ama ni automatic transmission. Hiyo Tycoon hiyo that is a CVT. Dennis Anigu is typing while deleting. Rafael Nyawera is saying show iko sawa, only that my net inanisumbua kama ni wanji. Usijali brother. The 11 Emperor Zimbabwe is represented here. Thank you so much for watching us all the way from the Southern Africa. And Zimbabwe is one of the places where Konnekt has a solid viewership, and we appreciate you guys for that and for keeping the fire burning. Joe Mathenge watching from Gilgil is here. Bill Odera is saying hello Eric CK. Is it true that Audi A3 1400cc turbocharged with 6-speed DSG is better than the one with 7-speed DSG in terms of reliability? Joe Odera, I may be stoned by VW Audi purists, but I will have to tell you this. It is true. It is true. It is very true. Calvin Quinn amefika. Antismo anasema comment on a G10 manual 1800cc. What's your take on it? When it's a manual, it might be. One thing about manuals is that they make things a little bit more easier, and they make troubleshooting also easier compared to autos. I might sound conservative, but that is the truth. The simpler the better. If you can be able to diagnose something by the roadside. In fact, manuals give you the provision of having a roadside mechanic or having a roadside repair, but easy autos manze, if it has failed, it has failed. Unajua manual unaweza weka gari namba 3 na uende to the nearest town. But ama ikiwa tuseme meno ya namba 2, you can shift number 1, uruke namba 2 uingie namba 3. Kama imeua namba 4, unaruka namba 4 unaingia namba 5. So yeah, manuals they are the best, only that time imeenda sana pia. Ray saying, why do you always import last accepted models in Kenya AG 2018 and 2019? At least those I see people calling new cars. Ray, the rules in Kenya are you can only import a vehicle that is 7 years old. 7 years old or 8 years old. So that means the 2018 ones are cheaper. In the Kenyan car market, the newer the car, the more expensive the taxes of bringing it. So that's why you'll find most people importing older cars. Yeah, but yes, that's the reality of things here. If our taxes, I feel it's supposed to be the other way around. The newer, the less taxes you get. Also, new cars, even getting them from overseas, they're also quite expensive as well. So it's a matter of what many people can afford. And that is why 2018, 2019 vehicles are in high demand compared to 2025, 2024, 2023. Kevin Ayeko is here. Ray, I need to tell you something, Ray. That is why guys from Uganda and Tanzania would call 2010 vehicles new. Same, yeah. Kevin Ayoko is saying, hello mkuu, siri ni gani? Watu wana own extra new models cost despite of their CVT failures. Bado naona KDS, KDUs, KDT on the road. Siri ni gani? Ama ni another Mercedes. Siri, si ati ni siri, ni venye ziko bei rahisi. Yes, the X-Trails, the T32s are cheap. T32s are very cheap. So that's the reason why there are so many on the roads. And that's also the reason why there are so many on the garages. Deno254 is saying, hello Eric, kindly advice on a fast car below 1 million bila kukaa Uber driver, thinking between an Axela and an Auris. Get an Auris. Axela ukifika 1.2 1.3 utapata third gen Axela. Rafael Nyawera is saying, thanks sana, must give you a call. Asante sana Rafael. Benson Otonda is saying, can Toyota Sienta new model be used for long road trip? extensively, excluding rough terrain for the fear without. Yes, yes, yes. You can use it for long distances. Kevin Wanjala is saying, "Hello, hey CK. What's the average period for direct importation from sourcing to delivery if it's a 2018 imported in deck? Will caps give a grace period before clearance is locked? You see, even if it's a 2018, as long as it has imefika in the port of entry by December 31st, then it should be okay. Collins Wanyaga is saying average consumption of a Subaru Anesis with which engine? 1.5 EL15. Hizo gari ni mlevi. Any 1500, I don't think those earlier Subarus, none of them had good fuel economy. They are quite thirsty naturally. Ray is saying also, what would be a quick rough import estimate for BMW 118 2022 1.5 liter that cost around 1600 USD? We'll have to log on to our KRA website to try and get the taxes for this car. So once we do, just inbox us on our number, the plus 2540710 844 863. We'll be able to get you a good duty estimate for the vehicle. Keeping a teach Rono, thank you so much, Keeping a teach Banner, for always keeping us here. How come Subarus have no concept of fuel economy? Is the CVT or the engine? I expected as an XV with a CVT to give more than 15 kilometers per liter, especially on the long drive from Mombasa to Nairobi. Hey, Keeping a teach Banner, hiyo fuel inakunywa. Alafu you see, you'd rather have a vehicle that is fast and thirsty than a vehicle that is average and thirsty. Kenya's Tracker is saying, like, why didn't we have a golf market? I don't think I'm in the right place to answer that question as well. Okay. Joe Wanjie saying, "Hi Eric, I wanted to know if you have ever come across an Outlander with a manual gearbox, or is it possible to convert from auto to manual?" Yes, I've come across several Outlanders with manual boxes, but history conversion on Outlanders, it's going to be too expensive for you. Plus, even getting those manual gearboxes, they are very rare, and they'll be mostly they'll be available on the UK spec diesel Outlanders. So getting those gearboxes, getting the clutch kits, getting the cylinders and everything, it's going to be quite hard, especially for these modern vehicles. Calvin Quinn is saying, one of these days, please give us reviews for tractors for the benefit of us who have invested in farms and are looking forward to invest in farm machinery. Calvin Quinn's wait, we ngoja tu, you ain't seen nothing yet. Simekwambia tunaenda hapo mahali kunaitwa, tuko na garage hapo Eldoret. You just wait, zitakuwa zinakuja your way soon or later. Roman is saying, talk about Honda Jade 1500cc hybrid. Do you do pre-inspection? Yes, we do, Roman. Honda Jade si mbaya, ni gari mzuri, but I really wish you got the RS. If you got the Honda Jade RS, that vehicle is just magical. So kama unaweza pata tu hiyo Honda Jade RS, I think it should be the best vehicle. It will give you good fuel economy as well as give you the thrill of driving that car. John Aki is saying, how comes the new Toyota Corolla Touring hasn't been picked up well? I'm seeing Axelas and Atenzas take the market by force. I think, Jonas, it's all about, these cars are 2020s. So in the next few years, be sure you're going to see them on the road more frequently. The Kenya Tracker is saying, Wakabs, it's frustrating our tax system makes new cars expensive. If government lowered import duties to like 10%, they'd get more taxes from higher value cars and cut emissions to win-win. Yeah, I agree as well. IRM is saying, Mr. Eric, what do you think of a Volvo V4 TT4 2013? Blown gasket due to overheating. Can it make a good projector? It can make a very good project car, but an expensive one. Hiyo ni kitu nitakwambia. Harmless Level saying, hi Eric, high reliable is a Volvo XC60 T8. They have many drivetrain problems. One thing I'll tell you, they are very fast, but ikianza kuleta, T8s are very powerful, but their drivetrain is very complicated. That is one thing I'll have to tell you. Benson Chege is saying, hi Eric, how is the Mazda CX-8? Mazda CX-8s are very nice cars. In fact, they are just elongated Mazda CX-5. So you'll find they share the powertrain and the drivetrain components. So yeah, they are good, and I'm sure we have one with a 2.5 liter turbo petrol engine. So we will be reviewing it kidogo tu, pole pole tu. Dennis Gax is saying, hi Wakabi, how is Nissan NP300 pickup local assembly? A good buy, a great buy. That's a great buy. However, the best will be the one with the QD32 engine. YD25, QD32. Mashayo Karaoke is saying, first time car buyer here with a budget of 1.5 million between Nissan, Mazda, Honda, and a Volkswagen Golf TXI. Which one is priority? Priority is fuel economy, low maintenance, and safety. So if you're talking about low maintenance, I think you have to here. Now that's a very intricate. Under 1.5 million. So, Masharia Karaoke, are you looking at a locally used vehicle or are you looking at a foreign used vehicle? Because also that is very important to keep in mind. Maswali zimeenda wapi? Watu wameenda wapi? Where are guys? Just a reminder, pia unaweza cheza pale na super chat to contribute to the channel growing and being able to bring this live broadcast to you each and every week. One thing I'll also want to remind you is that we have a WhatsApp channel. You can become a member of the WhatsApp channel. So, and what happens on the WhatsApp channel is that you're able to get daily updates on the Kenyan car market. In fact, today we had an update on the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, so you can check it out there. Naona mnaambiwa kumbukeni kucheza na super chat. Masharia Karaoke is saying local used or foreign used. So the reason why I've asked is because 1.5 million these days, foreign used inakuwa tricky. So if we look at local used, one, stay away from a VW TSI that is local used. So I think you can get a good Axela with that budget. Bill Odera anasema noted, but getting an Audi 1400cc TFSI, Bill Odera, they are not very common, and that's the disadvantage of these cars. They are not very common. Yes, but to be honest, that 6-speed DSG it's quite good. It's unlike the 7-speed, and that comes from, and that is a sentiment that will be shared also by Volkswagen Audi owners. Dennis Katali is saying Mazda Axela 1500cc hatchback, Honda Shuttle non-hybrid or Toyota Auris non-hybrid as a locally used. Give your advice. Hapo unajua mimi, if you're looking for space, Honda Shuttle. If you're looking for driving thrill and look mzuri, Axela. If you're looking for a vehicle that you have to sit at the balcony every time you are having nyamachoma or drinks with your friend, go for the Auris. Kevin Mutegi is saying, Eric, what's your take on the Toyota Camry 2009 Kenyan used? They were very nice cars, but they came with big engines. Yes, but if you don't mind fuel economy, hiyo ni gari mzuri sana. They were very reliable. Cromwell Sunday is saying, my eyes are on the 2018 Premio 1800cc. Yeah, bado wananunua Premio. Anyway, they are not bad cars. They are very reliable, but they are pricing. Oh my God. Kenya's tractor is in 7-speed. Haijanipeleka mbaya for a car that has clocked 200 kms. Yes, if you know how to take care of that DSG, then that you will push with that car. But to be honest, the 6-speed is more reliable. Jim Dukes asema, hello Wakabi, are there any J150 that come with a manual transmission? Zico, my friend. They are there. Gift Kimati is saying, which car have you owned and really served you good? Which car have I owned that has really served me good? I've owned a Honda Fit yenye haikuwa inipeleka garage for the 2 years I had it. The others, also the Mark II has really served me very well, irrespective of sometimes having to undergo through abuse. The other cars that I've bought, all of them have been project cars, and project cars come with their fair share of. But the Trooper has gone to places I never thought it would. The Suzuki as well, ilini surprise. Nilienda kutoka Nairobi hadi Burundi and back via Uganda with an oil leak. So yeah, I think I haven't had. I think the only car that I don't have good reviews of is the Volvo S40. Is a Volvo S40 I had. Mm, Abu, who else? Harmless Level is saying, do all Audi have steering rack issues? I see many Audis with that problem. As long as it's an electric steering rack, whether it's an Audi, whether it's Nigarigani, they are not very, hazipendi maji sana. Umekumbuka hata za Subaru zilisumbua watu sana, the SH zilisumbua watu sana. Vix the boss, John Maina saying umetufunza mengi mkuu, thank you so much. I appreciate John Maina, thank you as well. Thank you for always supporting us. Vox the boss is saying, Eric, nasikia mahali ati the 1.4 turbo engine of a Suzuki Escudo is not that reliable. Story, yes, training a small engine. How true is that? I would be, naweza pingana na hiyo story because of this thing. You know, if you push small engines so hard, definitely small engines with a turbocharger, they are going to, hazitaongea vizuri. But one thing I'll tell you about Suzuki's even have a 1000cc turbocharged engine on Samurais, and they still work perfectly well. In fact, Suzuki is known for making very good small engines. So I would defend the 1.4. The 1.4 will fail if it is subjected to misuse. Watu wa kuendesha gari at 6000 rpm. And this is something that has been even happening to Subaru Foresters. We have had like guys calling us. We over 5 cases in the last 2 months. Mtu amenunua Subaru Forester, the SJG na Ntabo FB20 ama Subaru XV, amefinya gari anaendesha ikiwa 6500 rpm. Then the engine seizes. So every time you subject a small engine, not even, there are engines that are built to be high revving, like the 4A, the 7A, the Beams 2000s, akina Mark 2 hizi, akina 1G, other engines that are made to be high revving. We have the K20 by Honda, the K24, Mazda, Wanko engines. So if an engine has been built with the intention of making it high revving, it will not be unreliable at high revs. But these small engines that are made to be economical, I'm talking about Peugeot 1.2 liter engines, Suzuki 1.4 liter engines. If you strain them, I repeat, if you strain them, kama ni mtu wa kukanyaga gari inafika 6000 rpm, they are going to die sooner or later. Paul Kimemi is saying, CK, after how long roughly do cars in Mombasa start kukulika na chumvi? It depends on the exposure to environmental factors and also ile maji imekuwa ikioshwa nayo. So the only way kujua kama imeanza kulwa na chumvi is by visual inspection. Edmund Wanja was saying, what's your take on the Toyota Allion 2013? That's a good car, Edmund. Kuna mtu nimeona aliuliza ati principal gani hiyo, shule gani anataka kununua Premio 2025. Hata mimi I was shocked. Elijah Matiko, budget of 2M. Elijah, I didn't see your question. Maybe you can repost it back there. Kevin Mutegi is saying Toyota Mark X or Crown local use 29 to 2011. I would go for a Crown because it's more comfortable. Kenya's Tracker is saying the only issue with the 7-speed I know is the transmission control module. Normally seizes and blows out, but it's an easy fix. Yes, I also agree on that. Because the DSG is made up of 3 major components. It's made up of the electrical components, that is the mechatronic unit. It has the hydraulic components, and it also has a mechanical component. So yes, if only the electrical component fails, then it should be a very, very, very easy fix. Ian Geshiga is saying Peugeot 1.2 Pure Sport for a first time car. Not bad, but remember, one thing, Peugeots are becoming very common. They are very economical, they are good looking, and they are affordable, by the way. Peugeots are some of the affordable vehicles we have in the market today. But beware of those 1.2 liter engines, especially if they are high mileage. Make sure that the timing kit has been replaced. Also, make sure that it does not have too much carbon buildup on the catalytic converter, because sometimes unapatanga tu check engine na the fix is unaenda tu unachomoa oxygen sensor, una spray carb cleaner ama catalytic converter cleaner, you let it dry, then the problem goes away. But you will find that people who do not know that, sometimes they'll get a check engine na unasikia gari imechokorwa sana just because of something that you can clean na cab clean ya 50 bob. So I would say they 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 tend to be, they are very good cars, very comfortable, significantly safe, but they might require a little bit of experience. But these days, guys are buying Peugeots as first-time car owners. With the Peugeot groups that we have, there is a lot of support that is going down. So yes, these days si ngumu sana kuanza na European car as a first-time car, because there is a lot of technical support with the WhatsApp groups, the Peugeot owners, VW owners, Audi owners, all those. Josh Homan is saying small engines with turbos are constantly overworked and blow up. Yes, that was my that was my yeah, that's yes, that's my point. And what I'm saying is, remember, these small turbocharged engines, they are not designed to be overworked. They are designed for, one, fuel economy and reduced emissions. And that is why you'll find that these small 1.2 liter turbo, 1.4 liter turbo, they are not meant to be driven at very high RPMs. Sawa. Uh, Chomal Sunday saying, Wakabi, you mean premiers. What's your take on buying a 2018 one, 1800cc foreign used for a PWT? My eyes are on it. Chomal, yes, premiers are nice cars. They are very reliable, but I feel they are better cars that you would buy, considering the pricing of that vehicle. Siku hizi kuna Mazda 10 ama ukipenda Mazda 6, kuna Xela. uh, they are better looking cars. They are the Corolla, they are the Toyota Corolla sedans, the new 2021s. Premiums sahi ziko, they can't be considered. Yes, they are. If you're looking for a vehicle from point A to point B, perfect vehicle. Francis Morelli is saying Mark II Bleat wagons are also brilliant, but fairly rare. Bleats are nice. I love Bleats. I also love the Mark II Quali station wagon. Yeah, so yeah, they're nice cars if you don't mind fuel economy. Dennis Katali anasema hujaongolea your Mazda 323. Yes, Mazda 323. It was one of the nice cars I had, but again, it was a project car. I didn't get to keep it for long enough. Actually, that's the car yenye haikuenda mahali, haikufanyishwa kitu tu ya maajabu. Najua Suzuki Escudo ilienda Burundi, Trooper imeenda Marsabit, imeenda Mount Elgon. Mark II nayo ni daily drive, inapiganga masafari. Kama leo siku iko safari. So yeah, one thing I normally say is that because ya personality yangu, I cannot afford to have a car that is unreliable. Stephen Chula is saying, no wait, Ramali, what's RPM is say for a 1NZ 1500? You 1NZ zinakuanga unkillable, but as long as you're doing below the red line, we uko sawa. Na 1NZ bora unapatanga zile za mogoka zimefinywa, but they still hold up. 1NZs were engines that were very well built, but to be safe, just make sure you don't go over 5,000 RPMs. Stephen Chula is saying, Eric, good job here. Please comment on the Mazda CX-60 3.3 liter diesel. Is it a better option considering the negative feedback or disappointment of the previous Mazda diesel trims? Mr. Chule, one thing I'll tell you is that we can't, let's not talk about the 3.3 just yet. And I always say, again, let's not rely on literature from developed countries, because the driving dynamics for third world countries can be very different. Even the lubricants we get, the fuel we get is very different. So the only way that I can be able to tell you of what is likely to happen with that car, or whether it's more reliable, is if that vehicle was subjected to Kenyan conditions. Ian Gishinga is saying, between Honda Fit Hybrid and 208 Pure Sport, what would you recommend for a first-time car owner? I would prefer a Honda Fit non-hybrid. Yes, non-hybrid. That would make perfect sense for a first-time car owner. Patrick Oero is saying, hi Wakabi, weighing between a 2016 Toyota Axio 1300cc and a Honda Grace Hybrid. Those are your why would you buy a 1300cc Axio? Just get the 1500cc. It will serve you better. Yes. I will try to move away from the Grace hybrid. If you were to talk about the Grace non-hybrid, I would go for it. The only challenge I have with these Honda hybrids, the Grace, the Fit, the Shuttle, and the Vessel, is their DCTs, their dual clutch transmissions, have been recorded to have problems, especially with especially the ones that there was a recall on. If you watch our video yenye tuliendesha Honda Vessel hybrid from Mombasa to Nairobi, I mentioned something about even a recall that was there because of Honda DCT transmissions. So for you to be safe, uh, yes, they are not bad. Kuna wase wamekaa na hizo Honda hybrids za DCT for a very long time, but I would feel better if you got a 2016 Toyota Axio 1500cc non-hybrid. That would work better. Um, Ian Gishiga, I believe I have, I have answered that question as I answered Patrick Wawero's question. David Amunga is saying, looking for a Mazda Verisa as a first-time car. Daily driver might go on trips Nairobi to LD thrice a year. How reasonable is this choice? That's a brilliant car. That's a brilliant car. I would find to me, I find the Verisa to be a very good vehicle. I've interacted with it for a long time, and it's a car that has not really shown any problems per se. So yes, the Verisa is not a bad car. Tuendelee na hii show yetu hapa. Where were we? Elijah Matiko is saying VP Eric CX5 to 500cc and 2500cc turbo for the first time car owner. If you're a first time car owner, the 2.5 turbo will be too fast for you. That hiyo gari ni iko na mbio sana. That is if you're a new driver. If you're a new driver, that vehicle will be too fast for you. So just do the 2.5 liter NA. M-Farm anasema looking to import a Peugeot 308 2.0 HDI diesel. Your take? That their talk is out of this world. And you know one thing about these modern diesels is that they give you performance and they don't guzzle up too much fuel. So that is why I would love the HDI, but make sure if you're buying the HDI, hii gari ya town, hii ni gari ya kutembea. So make sure it's well driven. Sawa sawa. Vox the Boss is saying, everything I know about cars today is because of you, Eric. Be blessed. A lot of thanks. That's Asante Sana Vox. I really appreciate as well. Joseph Mega is saying, hi, Wakabi, between the Mitsubishi Lancer and the Nissan B14, which one suits the first time car owner? Both are great cars. In fact, the difference should be, the deal breaker should be, ni gani unaona inakaa fiti. The Lancer looks quite nice. The Lancer, both are cars, but for the Lancer, just avoid the GDIs. Get the non-GDIs. Those are cars that will serve you very well, even the B14s. And they are cars that they will not cost you an arm and a leg to maintain. Ramali is saying, would you recommend turbocharging our NZ engine? I understand Toyota sold some tune specs through, though in very few numbers. Yes, if you, I would recommend it as a hobby, not as something that would make economic sense. But make sure as you're doing that, you get the forged piston, sababu bana ukifanya hivyo na piston za kawaida inaweza zungusha mikono. Joel Mbuthi is saying, I'm thinking of doing a direct import for an SK9 coming from a 2006 Outback, and I'm planning on keeping it. What do I need to look out for? I'm also thinking of importing a Honda Freed hybrid for my Fox. Import the Friedman hybrid because of the DCT issue for now. That is one thing I'll tell you. The non-hybrids will serve them. Hawatakuwa na stress. Plus, they are less complicated. The SK9 is one of my favorite. The SK9, when it comes to modern day Foresters, is my favorite, especially X-Brake edition. Hiyo gari inaingianga tu kwa roho. It's a nice vehicle. It's very well balanced. It's mature. It might not be the fastest, but it's fun to drive. The only thing is that sometimes ukifinya sana, it feels like you're stamping on a piglet because of how the CVT winds. But generally, it's a good vehicle, especially if you're coming from an Outback BP9. It will give you better fuel economy. Wacha tuone Facebook wanasema nini, wadau wa Facebook wanasema nini. Facebook pale we have Blaine Adolf anasema, hi Eric, Fielder hybrid or Honda Shato hybrid, please advise. Both cars are very reliable, but I'll go for the Toyota hybrid, because one thing, they don't have, if you compare, if you're to weigh between DCT issues that have been recorded with the Honda hybrids versus the field hybrids have mostly failed on the battery packs, but they come with a nickel hydride battery pack that can easily be repaired by replacing modules. So Toyota like keeping their things simple, and I'd always say the simpler the better. Dixon Mwandiki is saying, a Mazda Demio 2017 model 1300cc jacks occasionally when changing from gear 1 to DX2. Dixon Mwandiki bana, hiyo ni kitu ya kawaida sana. Those vehicles tend to do that. Raphael K is tuned in. James Miner is saying, what's your take as a Nissan B15 as my first time car? It's a good car, by the way. Go for it. Only that you have to make sure haijachemka before. Hezron Kabuango is saying, hi Eric, any advice on Honda Insight? Asking for a friend who's a first time car owner. Honda Insights were built well. The hybrid system, the integrated motor assist was quite simple, and nothing much could go wrong. If you're thinking of replacing the battery pack, it's not that expensive, so it's not a bad car as long as imetunzwa vizuri. Jeffrey K is saying, how about Peugeot 208? It has really regained confidence in Kenyan roads. 208s are amazing cars. They are good cars, and they are quite affordable as well. If you try and compare them to competition. Hon Kitonga is saying, which one would you choose between a Honda CRV, Harrier, or Forester, or 2-liter? I would go for the Harrier. Yes, it's a bit lazy, but it gets the job done. Walter Wasike is tuned in from Kitale, and he says, thank you for the insight. Asante sana. Reminder, 9 p.m. imefika, and we have to go, but Wasewa Eldoret, remember, tomorrow we'll be at Neon Mobility Eldoret, our subsidiary garage that is in LD. So you can drop by. We are going to be giving guys some good discounts on labor. So you can bring your car for service. You can bring your car for free checks, by the way. Tuone ni nini imeharibu ama what has worn out. So kesho tuko pale LD the whole day. So come, let's meet up, and also tutafanya review pale LD courtesy of Magari Deals Magari Center Eldoret. So that's another highlight of tomorrow. So yes, expect greater things. Also remember, you can be part of our WhatsApp channel, and you can join the channel by clicking on the link above. One thing I would like to ask is, would you guys want us to have an active WhatsApp community? Tuambie, tell us on our social media platforms. And remember, we offer services such as pre-purchase inspection, consultation, local sourcing, and direct importation as well. You can reach us out on our official WhatsApp number, or follow me on my personal social media platforms, Eric Wakabi, Eric with a CK, on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Threads as well. So it's good night from this side, and see you on Wednesday. And by the way, we have amazing content lined up for you. Good night, everybody.